is home to the world's oldest continuous culture.
It sure is. And teaching young Australians about connection to country is Yamatji-Noongar storyteller, artist and stolen generation survivor, Aunty Rhonda Collard-Spratt. She shares cultural knowledge and continues her healing journey through her new book, Grandfather Emu, and how the kangaroo got her pouch. So here to tell us more is Aunty Rhonda, who joins us now from Brisbane with her co-author, Jacki Ferro. Ladies, it's so lovely to have your company, Aunty Rhonda. We were just talking in the break about our connection to Noongar Butcher, where we come from, and we know each other's families. So it's really wonderful to have your company with us.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity and for the reconnection between us.
Aunty Rhonda, what inspired you to write Grandfather Emu?
Well, it happened in the COVID when people were feeling isolated and depressed and have to put up with lockdowns. So we thought we'd create a joyful story and a colourful story to bring hope and joy into people's life, because the world, we thought, needed to have something that was happy and cheerful, and it's got great teachings in it from our ancestors. So this is called Dreaming Stories, and for me, our dreaming is still alive and we're recreating new dreamings today. So this reflects our lives today, and it connects all people because of our ancient Noongar teachings about being kind, having a good spirit, and hearing all people in need. So I'm really proud to work with my dear friend Jacki here on this story, and it's only one of 5, so we have 4 more to do. But it's also to encourage our young Aboriginal children to read, because reading and education is the key for our future, for their future. That key can open any door for them. You know, if they put their head down and say, I'm going to go for this, and this is a book that will encourage them because they can relate to the animals and the country and the land. And we have our Noongar talk in here as well. So, and that's very important to me, to reconnect and give life back to our language and to make it stronger and let it speak from our young people as well, because growing up in a mission, I was not allowed to speak my language. We were flogged and we had our mouth scrubbed with velvet soap and a scrubbing brush, and so for me, this brings me joy to know that our language is only in deep sleep. So it's about breathing life into it and giving our kids hope, and all children of Australia hope, that we can walk together as those First Nations people.
You are so beautiful, Aunty Rhonda.
Yes,
Jacki, you helped co-write this book. What was that process like for you, and helping Aunty Rhonda find her voice?
So Aunty Rhonda and I have been friends for nearly 9 years now, and we began our journey together by co-writing Auntie's life story. And so I've learnt a lot about Aboriginal culture and also about recent Aboriginal history through Aunty Rhonda's life, being a stolen generation survivor, and also right through to she attended the apology by Kevin Rudd in Canberra. And we've travelled the countryside, and we even returned together to Carnarvon, where she grew up, and revisited what was left of the mission. So when we went there, we also went to her country and Shark Bay and Carnarvon, and that visit has inspired the artwork in this Grandfather Emu and how the kangaroo got her pouch, and the animals that we found there. And because of COVID and Auntie was so isolated, we decided that we should write something joyful that would bring her joy to her life, because she was particularly isolated, being high risk person for COVID. And so we started writing children's books. So this is the first book, and we're planning, as Auntie said, 4 more in the spirit of the Dreaming series. And we hope it's for all children to be proud of our culture, which is, as you say, the longest surviving culture in the world. We should be so proud. We should embrace it, and we hope primary schools embrace it and parents embrace it and read it to their children.
Yeah, my heart is so happy to hear you saying all these things. And Aunty Rhonda, when you say that our language was in a deep sleep, I think there's something really poetic about that. And we just saw you walking through the mission that you were sent to, Carnarvon Native Mission. How important is truth-telling at the moment, especially for children to grow up knowing the truth of this country?
You know what, my dear? I'm getting emu bumps just talking to you and reconnecting to you. I don't say goosebumps, they're white fella geese. We only had emus.
Emu bumps, that's sweet.
So I'm getting emu bumps. No, you know, finding...
What a laugh, I love it.
You know, finding who I belong to, growing up in a mission, they tried to make us white, but I always knew that I was connected to this land as a little girl. And I knew we had our own spirituality, even though we were brainwashed Christianity. I would go out into the bush. We call it the bush, but we had to say the common. That's a real English term, eh, Anna? So I'd walk off into the bush and I'd climb a big gum tree and I'll just sit there to nurture my heart and my spirit. I'd sit amongst the birds and the cicadas and the insects. That's how I connected and had time for me as a child. But it took me a long time to find out who I was and where I belonged. So, and the healing is still happening today. I do that through my art, writing stories. I'm a songwriter, I'm a dancer. Mightn't look it, but I am.
I have no doubt you burn up that dance floor.
Aunty Rhonda and Jacki, thank you so much for joining us today. Your story resonates around the country and speaks to families around this country, including my own. So thank you so much for writing this book.
Yeah, well done.
Yes. You're so welcome.
Thank you.
And it's for everybody.
We hope you
in all
enjoy it.
cultures, because it's a universal story of caring and sharing and listening. So thank you for listening to us today and giving us this wonderful opportunity.
Oh, wow,
really appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure. What a couple of brilliant ladies right there. Now stay with us. Coming up, the row.